What's up, y'all? Welcome back to a brand new video. In this one, I am actually going to be going and looking at the Academy Award nominations. I already looked at them. I don't know why I said that. And I'm going to be telling you what I think some of my snubs for the Oscars are. So originally, I'm planning on doing an Oscar predictions slash picks video a little closer to the show. And originally I was just going to mention these in there, but there's a handful of them. That video is already going to be pretty long, so I figured I'll just make it its own video. This video shouldn't be very long. I should be able to get through them pretty quickly. But I've been going through and watching every nominated movie so I can make my picks. I still have a few to go, so maybe there will be some more snubs, but these are the ones for me that were snubs. Here we go. We're going to knock off a couple of the popular ones first. The ones that everyone talks about or has already talked about. I'm probably a little late on the gun here releasing this video, but oh well, I don't really care that much. If you literally go look at the 96th Academy Awards Wikipedia page, which is immediately pops up on my Google because I've been on there so much, there's part of it down at the bottom that is a snub of the Barbie director and actress. So we're going to talk about the director first. The direction of Greta Gerwig was snubbed. I do agree. I think she would have gotten a nomination. I loved the Barbie movie. I think it was one of the best movies of the year. I'm glad it got a Best Picture nomination. I think, and I here's what I'm going to say. I like to think I understood the purpose of the Barbie movie. I would classify myself as a feminist. But I'm gonna say this. I know people said, "Oh, since Margot Robbie and Greta Gerwig didn't get nominations, but Ryan Gosling did, everyone missed the point." I disagree. I think Ryan Gosling hands down gave the best performance in that movie, and if anything was going to receive a nomination, it should have been him. I think it's awesome that America Ferrera got a nomination. I think it's awesome that some songs got nominations and the costume design and the sets and everything. But Ryan Gosling gave the best performance in that movie, in my opinion, and I think most people would agree with that. But I will say I have yet to watch a couple of the directors, two of the movies or a couple of the movies that were nominated for Best Director. So I don't know who I would boot for Greta Gerwig, but just my gut reaction said she should have been here. I also think Bradley Cooper could have gotten a nod for Maestro. I know he got the acting nod. I also think he could have gotten a directing one, but I'm not as worried about that one. Oh well. Now, the other one, obviously, Margot Robbie, I think is a bigger snub than Greta Gerwig. I know exactly who I would take off of the list to add her on, but I'm not going to be a hater, so I'm going to keep that to myself. And on all these, I know who I would boot for these movies, but I don't want to disrespect the people that were nominated, even though they're never going to see this. I don't think, why are we going to put this negative energy out there? So I'm not going to do that. I'll just keep that to myself and tell my wife. But Margot Robbie, she gave such a powerful, funny performance of one of the most well-known characters in the world, one of the most well-known brands, but this character did not have a personality. It was a doll. It was whatever the personality of the person playing with it. But I think she made it into an extremely relatable character. I'm sure it's even more relatable for women than it is for me, but I think she was a great relatable character. I do really think she deserved the nod. I also do want to shout out Greta Lee for Past Lives. I watched Past Lives, didn't really see the hype for it. I thought it was fine, but she was great, and it would have been cool to see her get a nomination as well. I think she would have been a worthy nominee. Now, I do have a couple of Best Actor snubs as well. I'm not going to be doing every category, by the way. There's just a handful here. But first is Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio in Killers of the Flower Moon. I think Leo definitely deserves some recognition here because his character is a horrible person, horrible human being. Let's just get that out of the way first, obviously. I think if anyone deserved a nomination for this movie, it was Lily Gladstone and Martin Scorsese. Both got it. Great. Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, should have gotten one as well because he took this slimeball character and made him at times almost sympathetic, which I think is impressive. But the fact that he also was able to play this horrible human being of a character so well is really impressive. But to me, the most egregious snub here is Zac Efron in The Iron Claw. I think if he had been nominated, he would have been my runner-up behind. Well, I'm not going to tell you that because that'll be my predictions and picks video, but I think it's the winner and then Zac Efron. I think those were the two best male performances of the year. But to me, Zach had the most heartfelt performance of the year. He had the second most powerful performance of the year. And I think that this is probably my personal second biggest snub. I was pretty upset when they announced it and the Iron Claw didn't get a single nomination. I think that's pretty criminal. I think it had a case for a Best Picture nomination, but I digress. I think you should go watch the Iron Claw. I'll probably have a few recommendations for you here. Iron Claw is definitely one of them. Very sad movie, but it's a great movie, and it's at the end, it's very heartwarming, even though it is very sad, very tragic. And it's great. Go watch it. But keeping with the Zac Efron thing, I think the Academy, their biggest fault this year is they snubbed a handful of young actors in favor of older actors with longer resumes, better resumes. And that, with the lack of these two guys, the Zac Efron and these two guys in supporting actor, I think show that. First, we have Charles Melton in May, December. I watched this movie. I think honestly this movie was pretty cheeks. I'm not gonna lie, but Charles Melton's performance was by no means cheeks. He was absolutely the highlight of the movie. Gave a great performance, and I think should have been a nominee here. The other one is the newcomer Dominic Sessa, I believe is how you say it, in The Holdovers. This movie has been one of my surprises for awards season. I'll talk more about it in my predictions video, but I really enjoyed this movie, and I think Dominic Sessa really holds his own and deserves some love here. Go watch it. Another recommendation for you: go watch it. See how well he holds up alongside the other two actors who did get nominations in Paul Giamatti and Divine Joy Randolph. I think he deserves one just as much as them. Now, for Best Supporting Actress, I don't feel actually as strongly about this one, but I wanted to mention this movie, and this felt like my best chance, is Viola Davis in Air. I think Air was probably the most underrated movie from the year and very similar to the Iron Claw. I'm disappointed that it went completely unrecognized by the Academy. I would definitely recommend it. So there's another recommendation for you. There's my third one. And I don't even know. I know Air, upon its original release, didn't get a ton of hype critically, financially, but then it got a lot more when it came to Prime, when it got on streaming. I would definitely recommend you go watch it. I think it's a great movie. I think it should have gotten some sort of nomination. I think Viola Davis was the best chance. She didn't get one. Oh well. Add that to my list of recommendations. The Iron Claw, Air, and The Holdovers. And I'm adding another one for you. This one's a little bit shorter. This one is a snub in the Best Animated Short. It is Disney's Once Upon a Studio. It can be found on Disney Plus. I don't know why I'm telling you because they're not paying me to tell you that. Disney has had a rough few years when it comes to their movies, just compared to what they did in the past. But this, honestly, for me, has been one of their biggest, if not the biggest, highlight. Do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's adorable, it's nostalgic, it's funny. If you like Disney, if you love Disney, I'm sure you've seen it. If you like Disney at all, if you've ever seen a Disney movie, go watch it. It's fun. And it's short, so you're not going to take up that much of your time. Should have gotten a nomination in the Best Animated Feature category. I really, really think so. Finally, the category that I was most disappointed in this year was Best Animated Feature. I think the fact that neither of these movies got nominated is crazy. First, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It was not a life-changing movie by any means. It was good and it had great animation, which I think is more than I can say for a couple of the movies that did get nominated. I know some people said that the song Peaches should have gotten a Best Oscar or a Best Song nomination. I think that would have been hilarious. Definitely should not have. But I think the movie as a whole should have been nominated. And again, I'm not going to crap on any of the movies that were nominated. At least I'm not going to tell you which ones I'm crapping on. But this definitely should have been in there over a couple of them. Next, my personal biggest snub, which you've watched any of my recent film videos, my top 25 list, my ranking my movies from 2023, you'll know this, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem not getting an animated feature nod. I don't think it should have won. Let me say that first. Obviously, I haven't watched The Boy and the Heron yet, but I think this is very easily Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse's category to win, or to lose, I guess. It's their category to lose. If they don't win it, I think that is a crime, even though I personally preferred Ninja Turtles. But I was extremely upset when I watched the nominee announcement and didn't hear this. Again, I'm not going to trash any of the other nominees, but this definitely should have been in there over, I would say, You know what? I'm just gonna say it. Over all of the other ones that weren't the Spider-Verse movies. I'm not gonna tell you which ones I think were bad and which ones were good. I'll do that in my other video, maybe. I don't know. I don't like being negative. So that's it for my snubs. Like I said, it's there's a handful of films that I'm still hoping to watch before the awards themselves. So maybe there will be a couple more, but I'm not going to release another video. I'll just mention them in that predictions and picks video, which you can expect probably about a month from now, that first week of March, a few days before the show. That's going to be a busy time for me, March is. So we'll see when it comes out. It is coming though. I've been watching a lot of movies for it. And yeah, I mean, that's all I got for you. This is a shorter video, so nothing wrong with that. Peace.